It's easy to move through a day feeling like something is just out of reach, like there's a better version of life waiting somewhere ahead. And once you get there, everything will finally feel complete and you'll be happy. That quiet sense of not yet can follow you through even the most ordinary moments, making today feel like a stepping stone instead of something worth noticing on its own. And without realizing it, you begin to overlook what's already here, hiding in plain sight. Today's inner weather forecast is gratitude, not as a performance or obligation, but as a simple awareness that shifts how you experience what's right in front of you and feel good about it. It's not about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring what feels difficult. It's about recognizing that even within an unfinished, imperfect life, there are still moments that carry weight of being special, moments that deserve your attention and that are more likely than not fleeting. Most people think gratitude comes after something significant happens, after the goal is reached, the situation improves, or life finally aligns with expectations. But gratitude rarely works that way. It doesn't wait for everything to fall into place. Instead, it changes how things feel while they are still unfolding, allowing you to experience a sense of being adequate and plentiful before everything is resolved. When you begin to look at your inner world, something subtle starts to change. You realize that not every feeling needs to be controlled or fixed. Some days feel light, others feel heavy, and many fall somewhere in between. That's life. We have our trials and tribulations all the time. Gratitude doesn't replace those experiences. It moves alongside them, like a break in the clouds that lets a little light through because no matter what is going on in our lives, we get to live it. And maybe we learn something about ourselves. That's the gift. What makes gratitude powerful is how quietly it works. It doesn't demand attention or effort. It simply asks you to notice. Two people can live the same day and walk away with entirely different experiences, not because their circumstances were different, but because their attention was. One might carry stress from moment to moment, while the other notices small pockets of ease that were always there. Think about how often your mind moves ahead of you, planning, anticipating, or trying to solve what hasn't happened yet. There's a constant pull toward the future, and while that can be useful, it also creates distance from the present. Gratitude gently brings you back, not by force, but by offering something worth noticing right now. Your breath, your awareness, your experience in the present moment. There is so much to be grateful for if we just look around. Maybe it's where you live and the view. Do you have a car with gas in it? Is your refrigerator full? Do your friends and family make you laugh? Are you planning a trip or vacation? Food, clothing, and shelter are always a good place to begin. In other words, we have options that other people don't. Right now, there are probably a million people that would switch places with you. Think about all your blessings, large and small. Therein lies the opportunity for gratitude. Nature reflects this in ways that are easy to miss. Light shifts across a room without asking for acknowledgement. The rhythm of the day continues whether you're paying attention or not. A breeze passes, a shadow moves, a butterfly appears, and life unfolds in quiet detail. These moments don't compete for your attention, but they're available, waiting to be experienced. Gratitude often lives in those small, unremarkable moments. A familiar routine that brings comfort, a conversation that feels easy or laughter that arrives to let us feel lighter. A pause in the middle of a busy day where nothing is being asked of you. These are not dramatic or life-changing on their own, but when you begin to notice them, they change how the day feels as a whole. You might pause the video and ask yourself, when was the last time you slowed down long enough to allow a small moment to linger instead of moving past it? What are you grateful for right now, in this moment? Noticing something good doesn't require a change in your circumstances. It requires a shift in attention, a willingness to slow down just enough to let the moment land. Do you ever just stop and look around? What are you missing by staying busy? Some people like to have a gratitude journal to make entries in, either first thing in the morning or maybe at the end of each day. It's a good practice to keep ourselves aware of the blessings. There's also a quiet shift that happens when you step out of comparison with others. It's easy to measure your life against what others have or where you think you should be. In that comparison, the present moment can start to feel like it's lacking something when actually you are exactly where you are meant to be. Gratitude interrupts that pattern by returning your focus to what is already present in your own life. We all need to go within and make our lives the priority. It's not about what anyone else is doing or where they are in their journey. This doesn't mean you ignore what's difficult or pretend everything is fine when it isn't. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, and it doesn't ask you to deny your experience. Instead, it expands your awareness so that difficulty isn't the only thing you see. It allows both realities to exist at the same time. And remember, everything is temporary. If something is going on that isn't pleasant or super frustrating, it won't last. Sit with it, give it a minute, and be grateful for the lesson that is sure to follow. You will feel good again. One simple way to experience gratitude is to pause, even briefly, and notice one thing that feels supportive in your environment. It doesn't have to be meaningful in a grand way. It just has to be real. And when you notice it, let it register fully instead of moving on too quickly. The real advantages to practicing gratitude, both for yourself and for the people around you, are obvious. A kind word goes further than any of us can imagine, and the recipient is surely grateful, even if they don't say so. It may be the only nice thing that happens to them. Internally, it can reduce stress, soften anxious thinking, and create a sense of stability even when life feels uncertain. It helps shift your nervous system out of constant alert and into something more settled. Overall, gratitude strengthens relationships. When you express appreciation, even in small ways, people feel seen and valued. And that tends to deepen connection in a natural, unforced way. We all have something to give. Our time, talent, or treasure, if you can swing it. We are certainly capable of making the world a better place by just being grateful. It all goes by so fast. You might try this simple exercise today. At some point, pause and think of one situation in your life and ask yourself, what do I genuinely appreciate about this that I haven't stopped to acknowledge? It could be something small you added to a space, or maybe something large, like ending a bad habit or losing weight. Just taking a moment, not as a grand gesture, but as a simple acknowledgement. You did it. You may find that it not only lifts your mood, but also deepens your own sense of connection with yourself. We are so hard on ourselves and keep our goals so high that we may never reach them. You are enough right now. Let's slow down and take a minute to appreciate the small things, like just showing up. Another simple practice is to anchor gratitude to something you already do. For example, when you sit down with your morning coffee, take one moment and notice something you're grateful for. It doesn't need to be different every day. Repetition is fine. What matters is the pause, the awareness, and the consistency of returning your attention to what is already present. Over time, these small moments begin to add up. Your attention starts to recognize them more easily, and your experience of daily life begins to shift. Not because everything has changed, but because you're no longer overlooking what was always there. The tone of your days becomes a little lighter, a little steadier, and a little more grounded in what is real. If any of this resonated with you, feel free to like and subscribe to support the channel and help these reflections reach more people. Remember, your life is your own. Be grateful for all of it, in every precious moment.